how it is flowing along with the air. It is still, but it is still a fluid. Do not open your eyes, masters. We are in the last few seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly place your hands on your eyes. Feel the energy at the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Please open your cameras. It is so beautiful to meditate together in the morning. Together, we are in the spiritual journey, expanding our consciousness and expanding our wisdom on daily basis. Thank you, everyone, for joining the meditation session today. So, coming back to the challenge that I have given yesterday, what was the challenge about? Can we please be interactive? The people who have come yesterday to the session, what was the challenge that I have given? It is about mindful speech, right? So in yesterday's session, Japnoor had mentioned a lot of things regarding the usage of words, what the words hold, how they shape our reality, how they shape our our self. The power of words, it is really incredible. The usage of words we are daily using in our life, we are being really unaware what kind of words we are using, because of which we are placing ourselves in the trouble, right? And the words, the thoughts, the actions, all these three are aligned, right? The content that you are watching on social media is affecting you a lot. It will definitely influence your thoughts. If you're watching good content, then that's how your thoughts will be. And that's how your usage of words will be, and that's how your actions will be. So, in today's session, we have Indrani with us. Let me give you a brief introduction about her. So she has been immersed in the practice of meditation since childhood and has undertaken numerous courses at Quantum Life University. These include inner child, family constellation, past life regression, life between lives, rebirthing, breathwork, and the soul coach training program, all facilitated by the esteemed mentors Dr. Newton Kondaviti and Dr. Lakshmi Newton. With a background in computer science engineering, she is currently pursuing a professional studies diploma course at the Barbara Bernard School of Healing in the UK. Indrani is known for her insightful speeches on spiritual topics, her engaging hosting of youth sessions and interviews, and her valuable contributions as a content creator for Paima Idea Lab. I welcome you, Indrani. Could you please unmute yourself? Wait.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And I'm very delighted to be here in front of you all. Myself, I'm Indrani Krishnamohan, and today I'm here with you to present this topic on layers of aura. And as Yamini said, I have been meditating from my childhood. I have known about this meditation. And now today we have experienced this meditation. We are meditating today and we have different experience, right? We can feel energy flowing, we can see our thoughts moving around, and we can sense that silence, calmness, and centeredness, and so many things happening to our body. That tingling sensation, or the yarning, or the pains that we have in our body, or the ecstasy, or the joy that we carry. Right? We have different experience when we practice meditation. Why? Why are we having this experience? What's happening with us with the tingling sensation? And we feel energized, we feel expanded, and so many more. What happens during this meditation? When we meditate, we are taking in that cosmic energy. And cosmic energy is everywhere in this universe. This is the universal energy which exists and which is present in each and every object. This energy is present within us, within the living, all the living beings, all the non-living beings, and this exists everywhere. And we are intaking that cosmic energy. We have been listening about this statement. We are not just this physical body. We are much more than it. We are energy beings living in this physical body. And this energy is expressed through different forms. We are that soul beings who has incarnated on this planet Earth. Using this physical body, we have been learning different lessons, which is very much useful for our soul growth. And let us dive into our topic of the aura and the layers of aura. So, how many of you believe here? How many of you experienced yourself about this energy, the cosmic energy, or the auric field? Wow. So, this auric field is nothing but the electromagnetic field that is around us, our own cosmic energy which exists. And this aura has different layers in it. As I said, we are surrounded with cosmic energy. It exists within me, within you, within each and every thing around us, and it is there in the space. The more we intake, the more we expand, the more we express our consciousness. This cosmic energy does not decrease or deplete, but it just increases more and more as we take. And this auric field exists within everything, either the living being, either the non-living being. Each and everything has its own auric field. For a thing to manifest, to exist, what forms is the auric field? For a leaf to form, it has its own energy, which can be, and through aura, the being is manifested. If a leaf is cut, this is the example where the photo is taken through the Kirlian photography, where we can actually see our auric field. The leaf is cut. The portion of leaf might be gone, but the energy surrounding it still exists. That does not go away. Even when the leaf is teared, the energy still exists. And through that auric field, a new leaf is formed. When we cut trees, we can see some shoots coming up. How is that possible? How can the leaves form? How can the stem form? For a building to construct, it needs the blueprint. When the blueprint is there, we can construct a building or we can do anything. For something to form, we need that blueprint. This auric field also acts as a blueprint, which helps us to manifest things in our life, which forms this physicality, this physical body and everything. So even when the tree is cut, it has its own energy. It has its own aura through which it can rise again. And for a human being to be born, the auric field is formed first. And through that, the energy consciousness comes in and we manifest. How wonderful is it to even experience this energy? And we have this wonderful meditation, Ana-Pana-Sati, where we are really experiencing that cosmic energy, where we are really experiencing our own fields. My utmost gratitude to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji for introducing us for this path of meditation, where we are rediscovering ourselves of who we are, where we are knowing we are not just this physical body, we are much more. We are that limitless beings, having this limited thoughts, but using this meditation, we are moving to that limitlessness, knowing that we are not just this physical body, but much more than it. These are the layers of the aura. And this wisdom which I'm sharing is from Barbara Brennan. And I have been doing this diploma course on healing modalities for 4 years from UK. And the wisdom which I'm sharing is from her. And there are many enlightened beings who have shared about the aura, the subject of aura. And this is her way of teaching. And almost we can relate to many masters, experience of many enlightened beings. And this is her wisdom of representing the layers of the auric field. So we have these different layers of aura. So what is this aura? So it is that luminous body that surrounds and interpenetrates this physical body, and it has its own characteristic. We are surrounded with this cosmic energy, but we have our own auric field, and it has its own characteristics, and it has its own vibration, and it has its own radiation, and which we call it as the aura. We have different layers of the auric field. These are the layers which she mentions, and there are much more layers beyond this too. But when we practice, we can see these layers through our third eye, or there are, if we are clairvoyants, we can see. If we are clairaudience, we can hear. If we are clairsentience, we can sense. So there are many ways that we can perceive this auric field. So first layer is the etheric layer. Next is the emotional layer. Third is the mental layer. Fourth is the astral layer. Fifth is etheric template layer. The sixth is celestial layer. And the seventh is the ketheric layer or the causal layer. And these are the 7 layers of the auric field. And we have chakras within us, and each chakra exists, expands through all levels of the field. We have 7 chakras, and these 7 chakras can expand to the all 7 layers of this field. And we can also call these layers as bodies also. And each layer which we have mentioned has some specific frequency. As we move from different layers of the field, it has its own specific frequency that we can observe. And it has its own shape and also own color too. Each layer varies differently, and this each layer interpenetrates and they surround each other in successive layers. Like for example, if we take the emotional body also interpenetrates to the etheric body and also into the physical body. The same way, when it comes to astral body, it interpenetrates to mental body, emotional body, etheric body, and also the physical body. It has its own edges, it has its own frequency, but it can also interpenetrate through all the layers and into the physical body. Each and every cell of our body has its own field. Each and every cell, like how our own entire being has this auric field, the same way aura exists for each and every cell which is present within us. And this auric field is composed of very finer substances and it has higher vibration. When we take this physical body, this has the dense vibration, and when we move to the higher levels, it becomes subtler and subtler and subtler. The etheric body is less dense than the physical body, and the emotional body is much more less denser than the etheric body. As we move towards the higher layers of the field, it has its own subtleness. It has its own energy vibration. As we move up, the subtler the levels become. And to experience this, we need more awareness. When we are expanding our awareness, we can also sense what's happening in our own field. And the experiences that we are having during the meditation is also through these fields of the aura that we are having. And we can also connect to this auric field using the chakras. So the etheric body can be connected through the vibration of the first chakra, and the emotional body through the vibration of the second chakra, the mental body through the vibration of the third chakra, the astral body through the vibration of the fourth chakra, heart chakra, the etheric template layer through the vibration of the fifth chakra, the sixth layer, celestial body, through the vibration of the sixth chakra, and the seventh layer, the etheric body, to the vibration of the seventh chakra. So as we want to connect with this each of the field, we can use the chakra's vibration to just experience, even though the chakras exist in all levels of the field, we can use this vibration of chakras to even connect to different layers of the field. And as you can see, the enlightened beings, as we said, each and every person has their own auric field, and it can be expanded or contracted within the state of being of the person. If we see an enlightened being, their aura is so much expanded, in miles, kilometers. If an enlightened being exists there, we can all sense. If we are near the enlightened beings, like Patriji, we can sense him even if he's so far because his aura is so expanded. And our aura expands and contracts depending on the state of being that we are having. So let us dive into the layers of the field. The first layer is the etheric layer. This etheric layer, it extends up to 2 inches, and the color varies from the light blue to the gray color, and it varies on how we are taking care of our physical body. If we are taking good care of our physical body, we can experience that light blue and blue lines of field. And if we exercise more and more, and we have that physical strength, and we can also see that there is also this gray color of the field, and we can see this variation of blue to gray in the athletes who has trained their body. And it is all about the sparkling web of light beams. So like here you can see in this picture how it is. And always the light pulses emanate through these lines of the field. And each light beams pulsate up to 15 to 20 cycles per minute. And it has the same structure as the physical body. And it also includes all the anatomical parts and all the organs. So this etheric layer exists through all the fields of the body. Let us just have this experience. So just rub your palms to just charge yourself. When you feel that heat generated, let us move our hands with awareness. Let us extend the space between our palms. Let us gently bring it nearer and nearer and nearer. And bring it far. Sense what's happening in between your hands. As you move close, as you move it far away, can you sense anything? Sometimes we can, as we bring it very much close, we can see that pulsation. We can have that tingling sensation. When we are bringing it far, there is some different energy. When we are taking it much more further, there is some another different vibration that we are feeling. Because as we are bringing closer, we are touching the layers of our auric field. When this is close, we are touching the edges of the etheric layer. When we are moving farther away, we are also touching the layers of the emotional body. When we are moving farther away, we are also touching the layers of the mental layer. So we can feel the auric field. So as we can sense the dense sensation, which is that etheric layer. And you can experiment yourself, like placing your hands far away from you if there is any plain background, and you can focus your sight with some distance from your fingers and look into that space. Look into the gaps of the fingers. Look into that space. Just have the intention to see or to perceive what's happening around your fingers. You can move your fingers and you can see some dense slight changes that you can see. And this is how we can perceive aura. So this is what the light blue lines that we are seeing is nothing but the layer of the etheric layer that we are sensing. And this etheric layer also interpenetrates through our physical body. Each and every organ has this etheric layer. If there is something happening inside our body, if we have a cut on the physical body, that can also be sensed in the etheric layer. There is some, we can also, if there is a deep cut, we can also see that the lines of light on it are also disturbed, damaged. And when these lines of light are formed again, we can also sense that the hand is also healing. Our physical body is very much related to the etheric layer. This etheric layer has the structure and of this physical body, and the physical body and the layers of the field are very much interrelated to each other. And this etheric layer consists of a structured lines. This has structured lines of force or the matrix, like how we are seeing. And this physical matter, where due to which the physical matter on the body tissues are shaped and are anchored. So, as I said about the blueprint, this can also act as a blueprint for the physical body. If there is any damage which is happening, as we have the lines of light, through that, again, the structure is forming. Through that, the body tissues are forming. And this can pursue all the organs of the body field. And these are formed like the bluish light. So all the organs within our body has this etheric layer, and like how it takes the shape of the physical body, even the organs also covered with this etheric layer. And this etheric structure sets up as the matrix for the cells to grow. So this is about the etheric layer, the blue lines of the field. And we move to the next layer, which is emotional layer, which presents around 2 to 3 inches, and we can see it in a rainbow color. So each emotion represents different colors, and we have different colors and associated with different feelings. And this is much finer than the etheric body. And this emotional layer stretches around the etheric body. And here, this appears as the color clouds of fine substance. And this substance, these clouds, are in very much in fluid motion. So when we are experiencing emotions, we are experiencing those emotions through our emotional body. And as our emotions are, so the colors of the emotional layer also differs from the brilliant clear hues to dark muddy ones. When we are with clear and highly energized, with very good feelings, very happy feelings, when you are feeling so happy, when you are feeling so joyful, when you are feeling like being in love towards yourself, you can experience this all the positive energies with this bright colors, all the positive emotions which are very clear and highly energized. When you are having this confused emotions or the anger or the guilt or the shame, you can experience those emotions through these dark muddy colors. So in general, this body appears to be as the blobs of the color moving with this matrix of the etheric field, and this also extends beyond it. This is how we are experiencing the emotional body, and each chakra represents the different colors. As we can see here in this picture, each person is carrying different emotions, and their emotions are represented through the different colors in their own auric field. Here we are seeing two different pictures where one is having the healthy emotion and where one is not having the healthy emotion. So when we see the healthy one, it's very clear and it has full range of rainbow colors which reflects good health, and it has very perfect balanced view, and there is no distortion in the flow of energy, and it is very clear. But when we see another one, there is this muddy colors reflecting there is some negative energy, and there are different colors which represents there is the depleted of energy. So our state of being is also expressed through these different forms of the auric field. And the next layer is the mental layer, and this extends from 3 to 8 inches, and this has a bright yellow color, and this extends beyond the emotional body, like beyond the emotional body, and this is composed of very finer substances. As I said, as we move through different layers, the subtler the layer becomes. This mental body is completely associated with our thought form and the mental process. All the thought forms that we are carrying comes from this mental layer. The thought forms that responds to this physical life, the belief system that we are carrying in this life. If you have that healthy thought forms, we have that bright yellow color radiating, and we can see the disturbances in the mental layer when we have the distorted thought forms or the negative belief system or the confused thought forms. Each and everything can be seen on this mental layer. This layer is all about our thought forms. And this appears as a bright yellow light which can radiate above the head and shoulders and extending around the whole body. This auric field exists in front of us, side of us, above us, and below us. It extends 360 degrees around us. And this has the structured lines of light, and this contains the whole structure of the ideas that we are carrying. When the ideas are clearer and well formed, the more clearer and the more well formed the ideas, and the clearer, the more well formed is the thought form associated with the idea. And when we are having habitual thoughts, so we have some thought patterns. And these thought patterns, which are habitual, this form a powerful, well-formed forces in our field, in the mental layer, which affects our auric field. If we have the positive thought forms, that also represents in this mental field, which is habitual. There are some things we just do. There are some things which becomes a habit for us, and we just do. If, for example, if you are carrying a positive mindset, that becomes a habit to perceive things in a positive way. If we are having that negativity towards ourselves, we can also represent through the mental layers. We are perceiving things in a negative way. All we see in a negative perspective. We cannot see something good because all the thought forms, habituated thought forms, are very much well formed in the mental layer. Next goes with the astral layer. It acts as a bridge layer between the lower three layers and the upper three layers. The first three layers are wholly representing this physicality. And the upper three layers above the astral layer represents the spiritual aspects. This astral layer acts as a bridge between the spiritual plane of the higher levels and the physical plane of the lower levels, and extends from 1/2 to 1 feet. And this astral layer is completely infused with the pink color. And this exists as amorphous forms, and this composed of the clouds of color. And this is more beautiful than the emotional body. As you can see, the whole astral layer is infused with the pink color. Even the chakras are represented. The colors of chakras are infused with the pink color. And the heart chakra of a loving person on this astral level is full of rose light. If a person is very much unconditional, if his heart is so much open, we can see that rose light, that rose hue covered around them. And when people form relationship with each other, they grow cords from this chakra, out of the chakras, and they connect each of them. So we are very much connected with each other. And on the astral level, there is so much interaction that happens between the people. And as you can see, the loving person, the aura of a loving person is so pink. One can sense the state of being of other person just by seeing. When we meet each other, before we speak, our field speak to each other. Our field talk to each other before we even speak. Sometimes when you are in a group, when someone is looking at you from behind, you can sense that there is someone who is looking at you, right? Have you observed this? If you are in a group of people and you can sense that there are eyes on you, how do you perceive? Because it's the auric field which is extended. Even when we sleep, our physical body goes into rest. But this aura is so active all the time, and it perceives everything which is around us and which is within us. And the etheric and this auric field. So we have many experiences. When we dream, we call it astral traveling. And this astral traveling, and this is so astral layer is so big. It's uh, it comes into different dimension, and it has many things which exist within it. And we do at the astral traveling through this layer, which I said this acts as the bridge between the physical plane and the spiritual plane. And the next is the etheric template layer, which extends from 11.5 to 1.5 to 2 feet. And this is body negative shade covered with blue color. And it is like the negative form of the photo. So it is all the body negative shaded covered with blue color, and it contains all the form that exists on the physical plane, and it acts as a blueprint on the template form. When I said about the blueprint for the construction of any building, this etheric template layer holds the blueprint or the template form. Any damage that has occurred in the body, if for it to repair and rebuild, to heal, it takes the support of this etheric template layer because it has the blueprint. And through that, the first level of the etheric layer is connected, and through it, the physical body, the parts which are damaged are re-healed again. And this etheric layer of the energy field derives its structure from this etheric template. For example, if you have a statue and the statue is completely covered with the mold, the outside mold is the etheric template layer, and the space inside acts as gives the layer for the etheric layer through which the structure can be defined. And if there are any, like I said, if there is any disease or if there is any damage that has happened when this etheric layer disfigures, this layer supports for the original template of that etheric layer. And it is the level at which sound creates the matter. And sound healings, when the sound healings are done, it is very much resonated with this layer. And the etheric template layer level of this aura creates an empty or negative space with which the first or etheric level of the aura can exist. And it also contains the entire structure of the field. It has chakras, it has body organs, and the body which forms limbs and everything in its own negative form. Like how we have the negative form of a photograph, the same way this carries everything, the blueprint for the physical body, for this life. And the next is the celestial layer. And it extends from 2 to 3/4 feet. It has this gold and silver shimmerish light. This is the space where we express ourselves, where we can find that blissful oneness state. Through when we are practicing meditation, we have different experiences, that oneness state, the blissful state that we are carrying, that we are experiencing is through this level. It's the place where the point of being where we know our connection with all the universe, when we see the light and love in everything that exists. It's all about that unconditional love towards everything on this in this universe, and we are one with the higher higher beings of us, the one with the God that we say, or the higher beings, or the whole being. We experience that oneness state, we experience that blissful state, the joy, the freedom on this celestial layer. And Barbara Brennan quotes that all the suffering is caused by the illusion of separateness. We feel that we are separated. Why this suffering is happening? Because we feel that we are separated. We feel that we are limited. And we know that we are not just this physical body. We are one with each and everything. When we understand that we are not just a drop in the ocean, but we are that ocean which exists in the drop. That's the place where all the suffering ends. And unconditional love flows when there is a connection between that open heart chakra and also the open celestial chakra, which is the sixth chakra. So we hold that unconditional love towards ourselves. We hold that unconditional love towards all the beings on this planet Earth. We also hold and extend that unconditional love towards everything in this universe. And we are very much connected in that oneness. The second layer carries the dense emotions, whereas the sixth layer, it's all about the light emotions, the joy, the oneness feeling, unconditional love, the blissful state. It all covers in this layer. And the last but not the least, the causal layer. It extends from 3 to 3.5 feet, and it forms as a golden egg shape. It has tiny threads of gold and silver light, and it has very strong durability. It is very strong and very resilient, and it is resistance to penetration. This layer protects the entire field. It is the highest vibration that we can sense. This layer also interpenetrates through all the levels of the auric field. And this is the level where we know that we are one with the Creator. And this level contains all the levels of the auric field. It has all the information of all the incarnation that we have been carrying. It has all the cosmic patterns that we are having. Everything is very much expressed. The whole of our being is expressed through this causal layer. And it is very strong. It has this golden threads. And the chakras are extended to this layer. And it is also expressed through that lines of light. We can also sense our edges of the auric field through this chakra. And we are speaking of the auric field. and we are speaking of the cosmic energy. So, how does all these things affect us? How are we intaking the energy within ourselves? So, we have the seven chakras. Through the seven chakras, we are intaking all the cosmic energy, and through the seven chakras, which carries it, the energy through the nadis, which exists in the field. And through nadis, the energy is moved through the nervous system. And through nervous system, the energy is moving to the glands, and from glands to blood, and from blood through the body parts. There is so much that is happening around us. And all we are thinking is we are just the limitless beings who are limited in this planet Earth. But when we know about all these things, that we are much more than this physical body, we are that emerging energy beings who are limitless, who does not have any limits. The limit exists here in the mind. And this is about 7 layers of the field, and each layer is expressed through different, the consciousness is expressed through different forms. In the causal layer, the consciousness is expressed through the higher knowing. We know everything what's happening. We can see the big picture of what's happening in our life. The sufferings or the situations that we are situations which are happening around us, we might blame others, we might think, what is this which is happening? But from this, through this layer, the consciousness is expressed through the higher knowing. We know that this is happening for our own good. We can see the big picture of what is happening. We know that whatever is happening in our life, it's we that we have chosen. It's we are creating. And in the celestial layer, the sixth layer, the energy is expressed through the higher feelings. Consciousness is expressed through the higher feelings of joy, ecstasy, the oneness feeling, the unconditional love. And the fifth layer is all about the higher will, the will that we have decided that we have to take the birth on this planet Earth. The higher will which decides how our life has to be. The astral layer, the energy, the consciousness is expressed through love. Love towards all the beings, all the non-living beings, everything present here on this earth. The mental layer is expressed through thought forms, and the emotional layer is expressed through the feelings. Etheric layer is expressed through the physical sensation. And this is the 7 levels of the auric field, which the Barbara Brennan has given. The etheric body, the blue lines of light, the emotional body, which is unstructured, carries the structure of the etheric body, which has all the feelings, the colors, according to the feelings that we are carrying. The mental body, the yellow lines of light, which has all the thought forms, all the beliefs that we are carrying. The astral level, which is infused with pink. This carries astral level, acts as the bridge between the lower 3 levels, the physical plane and the spiritual plane. The etheric template layer, which acts as a blueprint, and the celestial body, which is that which represents that one state, the unconditional love that exists in this universe. And the etheric template layer, the golden egg, the golden lines of light, which exist, which also derives the edge of our own being, which has all the information about us. So these are the 7 levels of the human energy field. And these are 3 different this is done. This is shown through the Kirlian photography of how a sick person has, where there are breaks in this auric field, and due to some unhealthy lifestyle, their immunity is depleted, and there is so much waste of energy that we can see. There are cuts in the energy field. A healthy person who has no defects, who has a healthy lifestyle, and has a good psychic energy potential. And there is one more sick person who has uneven distribution of energies. Some has the allergies, and this has an improper use of psychic energy. So this is about the auric field. So we are composed of different layers of the aura. We are composed of a much more energy. There are many more layers which can be perceived through much more awareness, so which can be perceived in our meditation. So when we are meditating, when we are extending our consciousness, extending our awareness, we can everyone can perceive these levels of the field. So this is the subject on the 7 layers of the field. In this subtopic which I have taken is shared by Barbara Brennan in her book called Hands of Light. If you wish to know more on this, you can always refer to the book that carries so much of information. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to share with you about this topic.
Thank you, Indrani. That was a beautiful presentation. Actually, it was clear and concise. I hope all the audience on Zoom and YouTube must have understood the different layers that we have and how the energy flows into our body through different, layers and passes through the body parts. Thank you so much. And if the audience have any kind of questions, they can ask in the chat box. And Indrani, could you please text the book that you have mentioned before?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. And if possible, try to share the images that you have put in the presentation also in the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Anyone would like to speak regarding the session, would like to share your thoughts? Vinay wants to speak. Vinay, unmute yourself.
Hi, Indrani. So,
Hi.
I have a doubt that whenever we meditate, or usually when we meditate, the energy enters our body through Sahasrara or the top chakra. Is it correct?
Yeah, the energy that we intake can be taken through all the chakras, not only the Sahasrara. Right? We have all the chakras which can take in the energy.
So, I was just thinking that energy will only flow from the top to bottom. Thank you. Because again, that was again contradictory to some of the other concepts like Kundali awakening, and that goes from top to bottom. So I got really confused. Thank you.
Hi, Indrani. Thank you so much for the wonderful session because I do not have a deeper understanding of. So today I have understood many things, but my doubt is, yes, I understood increasing our consciousness, our awareness. We can extend our aura, expand our aura. But are there any other practical things we can practice to expand our aura or work on our auras? Maybe a little few practical things that help us.
Yeah, meditation is something which can help us, and like having a very healthy lifestyle also help us. Like we have different levels dealing with our as we are healing ourselves more and more, dealing with our emotion, dealing with the mental level, and when we are healing ourselves, when we are focusing on the on healing ourselves more and more, we are actually expanding our auric field more and more because as the etheric body has this template which extends to the physical body. When we have the strong physical body, we also are strengthening the etheric layer as we are practicing different exercises and yoga. This all helps us to have that strong etheric field. And when we are carrying that good emotions towards ourselves, practicing that self love towards ourselves, and if we are having any negative emotions, not keeping it within us, but giving it space, giving its own space to for it to express itself, not throwing on others, but giving its own space. So, and also working on the belief system that we are having. So, as we are working on ourselves, as we are meditating more and more, we are increasing our consciousness, we are expanding our auric field.
You. And I have one more doubt. So there is also, I don't know whether it's myth or true, but people say, especially when we go to crowded places, maybe to marriage or some places, we feel like when we expand our aura, like we feel emotions of everybody by the time we come. I literally I might go down or it affects my physical body, sometimes emotional body. So is it a myth or if it's true, how to even contract our aura and to keep our space just for ourselves, not getting influenced by others' energies.
Yeah, that's very true because we are exchanging ourselves, we are exchanging a lot of energy when we speak and when we meet many people. And we can actually have this intention for ourselves when we go out. I do this because I also experienced this when we go out, when we are in that crowded space, there is huge amount of energy transaction which happens, and we take in other energies, and we can have that clear intention of having our own boundaries, and this is my boundary, and we can like visualize ourselves the seventh layer of the field as it is also like kind of protection for ourselves. So we can feel that seventh layer using our intention or using that our visualization more and more, feeling like we are having that protected boundary around us and having that intention, and we are taking all the good things, and if there are any negative things, I usually do this. So I visualize myself, have that boundary, I have this boundary, I take in all the positive which I'm having around me. Even if there is negative, I take all the positive that exists within it.
Thank you. That works actually because even if we go to malls, I drain myself. So yeah, I'll try to do this. Thank you, Indrani. It was such a informative session. I'm glad that we attended today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Indrani. Actually, the content that you have given is like almost PG level of content you have given. So it's like very informative.
Thanks for all the transparency.
Yeah.
Such a bunch. Thank you. Thanks to Inner Nature and Outer Nature. So much.
Any more questions, masters? If nobody has any question, then I would like to say something. So actually, whenever I used to go, as Vaishnavi has mentioned, when you go to crowded places or marriages or functions, you feel this like sometimes you feel like you are drained out, your energy is drained out. So whenever I used to come home, my grandmom used to do this thing. She used to bring that rock salt and do this tea thing to me. Dishti tagilindi and all. So I never used to believe that what is all this dishti and all doesn't exist. But then, yeah, I used to believe there is some energy that is being drained out from me. I feel really low after attending certain events or sessions. So once I took the rock salt and started meditating with that. Whenever I go out and I come home and I to take some rock salt and meditate with that, and I could see like a lot of difference after that meditation. I feel that rock salt has some kind of properties which removes negative energies. I don't know what science it holds, but can you just like give any other remedies along with meditation that can help us at our home to balance our aura?
Yeah, like you mentioned, the rock salt really helps us to energize our auric field because it has that property and it can take all the things, all the negative that we have. So that's why people say do not pass the salt from one hand to another hand. So because when the salt is in direct contact with the body, it takes in all the things that the people is carrying. So with the box it's okay, not the direct contact. We should not exchange the salt because it does carry. And like there are we can practice grounding, like where we are visualizing ourselves, we are connecting with the mother earth, like extending our roots into the ground. When we connect more and more with the nature, and it automatically expands our auric field. The nature has that healing power, and when we are grounded, very much connected deeply with the earth, we become centered, we become clear. We also take in much more energy, and we can also strengthen our deepen our uh, deepen it within ourselves. And we can use some crystals if you want to experiment, and the pyramids. Yeah.
Thank you, Anand. Vinay says you can hug a tree. Sure, Vinay. I would love to. Does anyone want to speak, or else let's get into
Yes, yes, yes. I just want to add because you asked, right, any more remedies. I heard this somewhere because all the five elements they cleanse our aura. Maybe having shower with rock salt, this I know, and even that harti with fire when it just come close to our aura, even that even some wind when we just stand in some open place full of wind. So these things I know, even grounding as she said, spending time with nature. So five
What I
elements.
do is, right, I immediately I have instant solution for this. So normally I used to spend with animals. Right.
Mm,
But the
So it
cake,
increases like, a lot of positivity with this.
yeah.
That's my immediate remedy. Whenever I just go down or expense with animals, then it again recharges me.
That's true.
We can also see that the room which you are in, the place which you are in, also carries that energy. And sometimes we feel so low. It is also very much important to cleanse the field around us too. So we can use a sambrani or vibhuti. There are a few things which clears the field of us and also the room. We can also use those to really clear.
Does anyone have anything to share? You can also share your remedies if you're following, which will be useful for us to follow. Okay, now let's get into the next segment of our session. That is SWAGG Challenge, PSSM SWAGG Challenge, which is initiated by Parnita Patri ma'am. So in the beginning of the session, as I mentioned, our thoughts are actually, controlled and influenced by the content that we watch. So for that also, I have a challenge for you now. You need to be mindful while you're watching content. So today's challenge is mindful media consumption. Okay. So how do we, watch mindful media, like content that is really useful for us? First of all, what you need to do is schedule breaks from all digital devices to refresh your mind and reduce screen time. Establish specific times for media use to prevent constant connectivity and prioritize offline activities. With my personal experience, what I would like to say is, if you are a person, I used to be like this. I used to scroll for hours on, internet like Instagram or YouTube. What you can do is, you can place your mobile in a cupboard and let's just lock that door. That is what I have done, and it worked for me. And if you are, an extensive user, you can't even restrict yourself from holding your mobile, then what you can do is, there is an inbuilt thing in your mobile that is called there is an app which can control your timer. There is a timer inbuilt in your phone. You can use it for restricting the usage of apps. Next is curate content. Choose high quality content, positive media sources that align with your interests and values to enhance your digital experience. Practice intentionality. Reflect on your reasons for consuming media and ensure it adds value to your life by fostering learning, creativity, or relaxation. There are a lot of videos that help you increase your creativity. Like I personally do, like recently I've started doing many drawings and crafts. And you have a lot of YouTube videos. You can learn a lot of stuff if you're really interested to improve your creativity. Limit negative news. Reduce exposure to distressing content by seeking balanced and objective news sources and setting boundaries on how much negative news you consume. Engage mindfully. Be present and attentive while consuming media, noticing how it affects your mood and energy levels, and taking breaks when needed. I observed this when I was watching a news channel. I stopped watching news for a few days and I could see there is a difference in my mood and energy and thoughts. Definitely, if I can say this on this platform or not, but you shouldn't watch news channels at all. I know if you really want to know certain things, what is happening in the world, then go directly to websites which give the actual news instead of watching news channels, because they exaggerate stuff. Next thing is, balance your digital use with offline pursuits such as spending time outdoors, pursuing hobbies, or connecting face to face with loved ones. Regularly assess your media habits to ensure they contribute positively to your mental well-being, and make adjustments as needed to cultivate a healthier relationship with digital media. And with this challenge, you have a lot of benefits. It reduces stress and promotes mental clarity by allowing time for relaxation and offline activities. And it fosters a healthier relationship with digital media, leading to improved focus and overall well-being. So that's the challenge for today. Along with meditation, along with wisdom session, these challenges are like steps to improve our lifestyle, isn't it? So once again, I thank you all for joining us for this meditation session and wisdom sharing session on inner nature and outer nature, which is brought to you by Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement and PSSM SWAGG in collaboration with PMC English. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to PMC English. Let there be love and peace. Bye-bye.